Can I start? I guess we'll start. Melanie, are you there?
Hello, Miss Dizon.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Mailer. Good evening. It is 7:03, and we are going to go ahead and get started with our Rancho Santana School Parent Engagement Meeting today, March 11th, 2021. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here and for being a part of history. I just want to tell you a couple reminders that we will have this meeting in Spanish available to our families who need Spanish. And vamos a tener esta junta en español en la descripción abajo. And we will also be taking your questions in the chat, and hopefully we will be able to answer those at the end of the meeting. Are there any other reminders, Ms. Mailer, that you can think of?
Welcome, bienvenidos.
All right, good. On behalf of all of the Rancho Santana School employees and staff, we welcome you here. So thanks again for being here. Let's go ahead and take a look at our agenda for this evening. We're going to just share a little bit about our philosophies as your principal and your assistant principal. That's going to help us build our relationship and that culture of trust. So after that, we will share with you our current happenings at Rancho Santana, where we've been and where we are going. And then we will talk about the meat of the meeting, which is the school core values. And these are the core values that many of you identified in our parent survey. And these are the values that we will continue to talk about and discuss with our staff when we start drafting our school mission and vision. And then we'll talk about some of the next steps after this. We have some meeting dates for you as well. So my name is Anissa Dizon, and I am the principal of Rancho Santana. And there was recently a one-word challenge you might have heard, and I chose the word leap. And the definition of leap is to jump or spring a long way to a great height or with great force. And I was inspired by the teachers who had to leap into their new roles when the pandemic started. And so I also want to try to leap into new things and try not to be afraid, because sometimes we're afraid of heights. And I know that I have an awesome support system that will help me kind of get back up if I should fall. And I can't grow if I don't take that leap. So here's a little bit about myself, who I am as a leader, and what drives me. And the reason why I'm sharing this is that I want you to know what I'm about. And I want to be able to walk the talk. So what drives me is I am relentless about developing and maintaining positive cultures. It's culture first and it's culture always, right? Culture is what we allow. I also like to be visible and accessible as a leader, and this also helps build that culture of trust. And I like to develop that sense of collective efficacy. And I'll talk a little bit later about what collective efficacy is. But I can build professional relationships with the parents, with the students, with the staff by collectively creating that focus on student learning, right? There's no excuses when we have that collective efficacy. And I also believe that teachers have the biggest impact on the child when they're here with us at our school, right? And so my role as the principal is to really empower the teachers to empower the students. And you can't, I'm not going to build up a program. I'd rather build up the people who are teaching the program. And then, of course, collaboration. We are stronger.
Back up and running.
When did we go offline? Please tell me, like, was that a dress rehearsal for me? Oh, okay. Do you know when we went offline? Oh, okay. That's okay. So, family, thank you for hanging on tight and rejoining us. I am not going to go back through all of my slides. Just know that I am so happy to be here in this opportunity, building a culture of trust at our new school with the people that are on board. And I am extremely sincerely looking forward to working with you, the caregivers, the families, the parents of our future scholars. Um, this is the quote that I shared that really had an impact on the way that I'm looking at things in the work that I'm doing every day, every minute at Rancho Santana, preparing for our scholars. I do want to say, if you did not hear me before, families, we are so fortunate to have Miss Mailer as our assistant principal here at Rancho Santana School, and she is going to bring so much to our culture of trust. I,
Well, thank you so much for sharing that quote, Ms. Dizon. I love the idea that it's true. If you are truly pursuing your passion, you really don't feel like you're doing work at all. In this case, I just want to make sure they can still see us online. So I'm going to check in because it says live stream offline again. So I'm going to double check. Thank you for being patient, everyone.
okay.
Okay, and Ms. Dizon, I did have one comment that it was after the first slide, but now they say it's working. We're back on.
Okay. I'm glad you have someone to check in with.
So hopefully you didn't miss Ms. Dizon's page just talking about what she's passionate about and what she has to contribute to our new school. We really wanted you to hear that. So maybe just go over that one more time, Ms. Dizon.
Sure. The reason why, families, that I'm sharing this a little bit information about who I am as a leader and what drives me is because it really helps establish that culture of trust. And so I want to share with you what I'm all about. This is just a few of the items that really define me as a leader and as a principal. And I'm relentless about developing and maintaining the positive cultures. It's always about culture. Culture is what we allow. And so this is one of the top priorities and will continue to be our priority, is our culture. I also like to be visible and accessible to the families and to the students always. That also helps build trust. I want to develop a sense of collective efficacy, which I will touch upon a little bit later. And that's building those professional relationships, the personal relationships with everyone involved in Rancho Santana. Um, if we focus on student learning, then we move forward with no excuses. And I know that the teacher has the biggest impact on the child's learning. And so I, as a principal, am going to try to empower the teachers who will then empower the students, right? You can't build, I'm not going to build up a program. I'm going to build up the people who are actually um, utilizing the program. And then collaboration. We are always stronger and better together. I look forward to collaborating with you and your child. This is a quote that I chose that really impacted my mindset. I found myself having a large to-do list, a long to-do list, and I started to get a little bit stressed about it. And then I read this from Simon Sinek, an author, and I was instantly able to say, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity of helping create this learning environment for our future scholars. And I am grateful that I have this opportunity. And so now I look at that list with a different perspective, like how lucky I am to be working on this list and choosing furniture and all of that good stuff. And so I am going to continue to share that passion in everything that I do planning for our school. So thanks, Miss Mailer.
Thank you so much, Ms. Dizon. I really love that quote. It's so true. Like I said earlier, if you are truly passionate about something, it really doesn't seem like work. You're just happy to be working and doing what you're doing. So thank
Agreed.
you.
Yeah.
I chose the word kindness. I really want to help create a culture of kindness at Rancho Santana School. And I intend to model kindness as a leader. And I want to encourage our students to show kindness in our school community and in the larger community. So that is why I chose the word kindness. And as an educator, I believe in truly building positive relationships with staff, students, and families. I, I believe that you, families, are our partners in your child's education, and I truly value your commitment, your participation, and your time here this evening. You truly care about your children's education. And also, I believe that all students have strengths and areas to develop, and it's important to build on their strengths, meet them where they're at, help them be successful, and help them set goals, help them set attainable goals, achieve those goals, and most importantly, celebrate. I'm a huge advocate for early literacy, and reading is key to everything. And I believe in educating the whole child. So, supporting the child academically, creatively, and socially emotionally. And finally, empowering and inspiring our staff and our students to be leaders because they are the leaders of our school as well. And I truly am a lifelong learner. I love to learn. And as an educator, I like to instill that in my students, just that desire to learn as well. And I also chose a quote: if you have a child's heart, you have a child's mind, from Capturing Kids' Hearts. And I feel that you need to get to know a child on an individual basis by name and just by who they are. And then that will allow the learning to happen.
Well, thank you, Miss Mailer. Again, we are so grateful that you are here and part of our team. And I can't wait for our families to meet you as well. So our next agenda item is the current happenings at Rancho Santana School. And here's kind of where we started. Back in November, we were calling out all of the families. Hey, we have this new school, start enrolling. If you live in this area, the intra-district transfer requests, all of that. And we started to really see some of the names coming forward. After the process, we now have about 450 students enrolled. Then in December, we um, started visiting the Gabilan Hills students because those are the students that will be with us. And so Miss Mailer and myself have been making ourselves available to those students in the Google Classrooms. And we have been doing read alouds and just really trying to build those relationships and allowing the students the opportunity to kind of see our faces so they're familiar with us once they come onto the new campus. And then in January, we have an amazing staff, classified and certificated. We are already off and running. And we will talk a little bit more about the focus areas with our staff. But there is a pep in my step because of who is coming to Rancho Santana. Then in February, it's culture, all about culture. And so we will continue to build on the culture. Now that we have the names of our scholars, we have our staff, then it's all about it coming together. Right now, whew, I am looking through catalogs over catalogs over catalogs, um, and really trying to plan for the spaces that your child will be in, right? And do you want to talk a little bit about that, Miss Mailer? Why I wrote physical and emotional space?
Absolutely. So we are planning a wonderful space for our students, and we want it to be a place where they feel at home. We have pro- we are providing flexible seating so that they're able to have movement while learning and just unique learning spaces. And this will support them social emotionally because it's allowing them to make choices during their learning and have different options. And so this is just one thing we're doing to support them socially, emotionally, but we've learned a lot from distance learning, and we've learned that we want our students and our staff to think outside the box, and we've learned differently these last few months, and so we want to continue learning differently and being creative about the way we learn and think.
Hmm. Yeah, it's really fun thinking of the spaces that we are planning because now we know students can learn from anywhere. And so some of our chairs are going to have wheels. And if we want to learn outside, take our Chromebooks outside, we will have the option of doing that. Next, we're going to really start narrowing in and developing our academic focus. And we will be doing that with our staff. I also put on the agenda COVID. Um, the in-person learning model, whether it's a hybrid model or the distance learning model, it will always be about safety. We're going to make sure that we are following the guidelines from the county as far as the colored tier that we're in. And we will be having a board meeting just on the reopening and the plans on March 15th, which is that Monday, I think. Um, so more information will come, but we are prepared with Plan A, Plan B, and Plan C. Okay, Miss Mailer.
Yes. So over the next several months, we have plans and we have specific focus areas. And one topic we want to look at is our social contract for our staff. So a social contract is an agreement amongst our staff and how we're going to work together as a family, how we're going to make decisions, and sometimes overcome challenges and obstacles. So we'll do that as a staff first, and then eventually your children will be creating a social contract within their classroom as well. And the social contract comes from capturing kids' hearts. It's just one component that we use, and it creates emotional and social safety for our children in the classroom and on campus. So that's one area we're working on. And then do you want to tell them a little more, Ms. Dizon?
Yeah, the collective efficacy you see there is, well, amazing things happen when a school staff shares the belief that they're able to change or achieve collective goals and overcome challenges that really impact student achievement. And and collective efficacy is kind of getting everyone that is involved in Rancho Santana and really having that shared belief that our students will learn, and then our focus revolves around that. And so that's not an easy task by any means, but having those discussions and initiating those discussions um, is the start, and that's what really is really quite exciting to me. um, and then throughout the month, I kind of just laid this out early on, and so we'll have to do some catch up. We'll continue to talk about collective efficacy, not just in February, but throughout the remainder of the year. Student engagement, instructional strategies, again, like the academic focus I spoke about. And we are looking forward to building our student leadership team. And that's going to be starting in April, where we will go out and talk to the sixth grade, the seventh, and the eighth graders, and really just giving them responsibility and ownership of their new school. So I just wanted to share this with you, and just so you can kind of get a glance of everything that the amazing staff will be talking about and preparing for. Core values. Okay. So, um, from based on the results from the the parent survey that went out, we had about 130, 140 parents, families respond. And so these were the top 5 core values that you chose. Respect came in as number 1. 115 of you put that you wanted respect as one of the values. We also, accountability. And we'll talk a little bit about that, what that looks like. Student focused, leadership, and creativity. And if you just look at those, like respect, student focused, a leadership, creativity, it's like, yes. I think the accountability kind of falls in all of the other areas. And so some of these are the core values that I will share with our staff, and we will take that when we start the discussion about developing our mission. Let me show you what that involves. So the next step now is developing our school's mission. The mission has to be clear and practical and shared and practiced. It has to begin with the end in mind, right? So that the entire school community will have that clarity as to what it is that we're trying to accomplish as educators. Our school mission will also serve as a reminder to keep everyone who's involved in educating your students on course. And our mission can and should reflect what our school stands for, what it values, and serve as a standard for behavior for our staff, students, and families. So if you can tell, this is no easy feat, right? So this is going to be something that we're going to have hard conversations. We're going to have disagreements with our staff, but we will, or not disagreements, we'll have challenges, because sometimes we have passionate teachers and educators who really want this value and this value. And so it's kind of like meshing. It's the meeting of the minds, where we're able to listen to our families, listen to our staff, and then really plan for that mission, that clear mission that we will all rally around. Is there anything that you wanted to add, Miss Mailer?
Well, I'm just excited to say that we have a few questions, so we'll be able to answer those at the end of our presentation, but I'm glad you are adding those questions to the chat. Thank you.
Great. And I'm looking at our time. We're okay at 7:30. I want to leave a good 10 minutes to answer some of those questions. Um, so again, this is going to be our our discussion with our staff, and we will share everything with you. And so I really hope that you will not get tired of our surveys because we need your input. It's really critical that you share your thoughts with us. Oh, look at our beautiful quad. This is one of my daily um, visuals. My is what's the word? What I get to look at every day. And so I've gone to that middle oak tree there on the left. I've had my lunch there. I've laid down on that little ridge there by the tree. Um, just, really enjoying the views that we have there. I was able to see the snow on the hills this morning. It's just so beautiful. But just like I presented at the board meeting a couple months ago, it's not, I don't want it to be that glass castle, so to speak. I really envision your child there sitting on the grass, in the quad, on the playground. Um, I can't wait. It's too quiet. It's too empty. I can't wait for us to have little pitter patter footsteps. Uh, it's just so exciting. Again, another opportunity that awaits. Um, we are on the map, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. I just take in the glory. What's going to make this campus even, more beautiful will be the students and families that we serve. And that is so exciting, my friends. 12 acres right there. We sit on 12 acres, 3 tiers. This is our first tier where all the buildings are. The second tier is um, down below. I don't know if you can see my cursor right here where the playground is. And then the third tier is right here, all the fields where we will be playing. Okay, a couple reminders, Miss Mailer.
Yes, well, I have to agree with you, Ms. Dizon. I think what is really going to make our school is meeting the students and having them on campus. That will make our building a school. I'm excited to meet everyone, and we definitely want to invite you to the upcoming parent meetings that we'll have. We have two more planned, and those will be Thursday, April 22nd at 7 p.m. And the other one is Thursday, May 27th at 7 p.m. So hopefully you can join us and you'll go to this same link and be able to watch those two. And also if you wanted to go back and watch um,
Yes, correct.
presentation as well.
Yes, and I know that it says parent engagement meetings, and I can't hear any of you, but I'm hoping that in the future that we will have our parent meetings will be set up where it's more discussional versus informational. So I don't want to be the only one talking. I really want to hear your voices. And so with that, we set up a few coffee hour with your principals, and I I hope some of you can make it. If not these the month of April, perhaps in the coming months. But we broke it down by grade. We can post this on our website, and we can post on the district website as well, just to remind you. Okay, for those of you who don't know, we do have a temporary school phone number. It's the district line, but we are extension 393 until we get our home school phone number. Okay, Miss Mailer, what are the questions? What are
Yes,
the
thank you.
comments?
Thank you everyone for asking questions. One question is, will we have access to the different plans, like in-person versus distance learning related to COVID once they are available? And to get an idea what next year will look like and give families the ability to plan accordingly.
So we are going to be getting more information after the board meeting on March 15th, and that information will definitely be shared with all of the families. Yes, for sure.
Great. And then another parent asked, because they're excited about promoting leaders and promoting leadership. And
Yes.
so one parent asked, how will you reach out to sixth, seventh, and eighth graders? Her daughter will be in sixth grade and she wants to know how you'll be reaching out to involve them.
Great question. Miss Mailer and I are going to be visiting your children. And so I have it all planned out, what grade levels. We really would like to meet all of your children, actually. Um, but we are going to be reaching out to them, visiting them, introducing ourselves in person, safely, of course, and then start inviting them when it's safe, for them to be on our campus and start having those conversations. We thought about um, like an orientation, um, giving them opportunities to share what they would like to see or have on our school. Student voice is going to be big, and that'll come later, um, but it will come. Yes.
And that kind of leads into the next question. So one family said they weren't notified about tours earlier,
Hmm.
being available a few months ago, but they'd like to know if they can have the opportunity to tour the school anytime soon.
Of course, yes, we want to show off the beautiful campus. We It's not officially turned over that to us from the construction company, auto construction. And so we're just waiting until we get our keys. And so they're working on the little job list that they're still fixing little things here and there. And so I'd say like in a month, we can start inviting some families by grade levels perhaps to come and visit the campus for sure. Yep. And the summer. We will have some in the summer.
I look forward to seeing them on campus for sure.
Yes.
And then a question about PE. How will PE look for the sixth, seventh, and eighth grade compared to the other middle school programs?
That's a great question. I have no idea. I don't know. We'll find out when we start really having those conversations with our staff. Yeah, for sure. I don't know. We don't have a locker room or anything like that. So I don't know what that will look like. I can find out.
And what hours will kindergarten be, and will there be after school care available?
Ooh, now we're getting into the logistics of our schedules and such. This is what I do know. We will start at 8:55. We're one of the later starts in the district, and that's because we'll be the last route of the bus route. What was the question? What time is our kinders?
So, and then also after school care. Will there be after school care available?
Yes, and so if you did not receive the survey, we're sharing that information with the YMCA, and they're planning and prepping, and they have a flyer that will be going out soon to all of the families regarding the times for before and after school care. I don't know the details yet, but it's coming. Mhm.
Thank you. And then will middle school, sixth through eighth, have multiple teachers, and how will their days look?
So we have about 450 students. We have one TK class right now and two classes of each kinder through sixth grade. We have one seventh class and one eighth grade class. And the seventh and eighth grade classes will be self-contained. That means they will have one teacher for all subjects. Now, the teachers can come up with a plan, and I'm open to that if they wanted to share, like, I'm the seventh grade teacher and I'm going to teach the seventh grade math and the eighth grade math. Like there can be some little logistics that they can work out, but for right now, it's a self-contained 1/7, 1/8.
And if I could add to that, Ms. Dizon, another great opportunity that our seventh and eighth grade students will have is they will have a access to a science room, and it's uh, very state of the art science room with everything you can think of, including a safety wash station. So it's set up for real experiments. And then we also have a STEAM classroom and an art classroom. So they will get to, if it is self-contained, they will still be moving classes and going to those spaces to learn and explore.
That is correct. Thank you for reminding me. We have beautiful specialty classrooms, we're calling it. We have an art room, STEAM room, and a science lab. Yes.
And then one parent asked, and I'm excited about this question, will there be a PTA, an opportunity to volunteer?
We need your help. Yes, and yes, and yes. We we look forward to starting that whole collaboration. And so if you did not respond in the survey, oh wait, the survey, let me just share with you, my families, that it was many of you said yes, but the majority of those who turned in the surveys was maybe I would like to participate in a parent club or what have you. But those maybes, I'm hoping, will be a yes, because we need you. So we will be sending out another survey to everyone, and you can select as many clubs and all of that. If you like, we're looking for parents for the school site council, for ELAC, and for the parent club. Yep. Great question.
And I absolutely love this question because it's every school's dilemma. What is the traffic situation? Currently, there's only one road in and out to the Santana Ranch. This is a great question.
Yeah, because we were making a list of purchases that we need to make, like the stop signs for the crosswalk and the vests and all of the cones and things like that. And so we're just preparing because we don't know, we haven't seen it live, right? So stoplight on Sunny Slope. The road is wide, which is nice on Santana Ranch Drive. We will only be going, there will be one entryway and one exit for our main parking lot up by the front of the school. The night that is being built right next door to us. So I don't know, there might be a little bit more parking that way as well. We're hoping to have 2 lines of traffic right in the front. Flow of traffic. I don't know. I don't know what else to say about that. Just that we're going to have to wait and see, and then just kind of revise if we need to.
Yeah, I appreciate your thinking about safety too. Things that we'll work on as a family.
Yes, Miss Mailer is Miss Safety Queen.
And then we have we had a parent already volunteer and individually send us her email. She's excited to sign up and volunteer. The sports be offered for middle school grades?
We do plan to have sports. We do plan to have sports at Rancho Santana. And so it's just right now it's a matter of the interest from the students, right? If we have enough to make a team or what have you, and then getting coaches.
Yay. I'm looking forward to that too. So if it is decided that hybrid or distance learning is necessary, will there be in-person care available, such as at Sunny Slope Elementary?
I don't know for sure, but I'm thinking that we could probably arrange for that. You mean, are you,
The day, Sunny Slope has, I believe, maybe a YMCA that offers
mhm.
some during the day care for
If that's
students.
a big need, I think we can definitely discuss that. Yes. We're open to that.
And so another question was about sports, which I know you already answered. There will be sports, but what
Mhm.
about band? Will band be offered?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't even think about band. I hope so. I sure hope so. I'm hoping we can get the band teacher to come to our school. We
Yeah,
will
it
work
seems
on
like
that.
district wide,
Yeah,
we've been able to do
yeah.
that.
Great question.
Yeah. Well, I'm so excited we had all these questions. If there are any more at this time, just go ahead and add them to the chat, or if I missed yours for some reason, please add.
Mhm.
Good.
How
Yes,
exciting.
transportation. Will
Mhm.
public transportation for special ed be available?
Public transportation for special ed. I don't know. I mean,
We
I
will
don't know.
have our buses, so
Mhm.
the buses will be running.
Right.
Um,
You didn't mean that
but
question.
we can actually, we have the name of the parent that asked that. So I can go
Okay.
ahead and write her name down and we can reach
Okay.
out to you and get back to you on that one.
Okay. And I was so excited that I wasn't writing any of the questions down that I said I didn't know and that I would try to get more information. I don't even remember what I said I would do or look.
That's okay. We'll rewatch it and that'll remind us.
Okay,
And
great. Well, we'll
yeah, we
go.
have one. Is it, do we have time for maybe
Yeah,
two more?
of course.
Okay.
We have
What
time.
about the class sizes for kindergarten?
Uh-huh. Ooh, okay, so tomorrow on Fridays is when I update the enrollment sheet with Mr. Ward, the Director of Student Services. So I think the last time I looked at it, we had it was 25, might be a little bit, maybe 25 to 27.
That's great. That's still a good size.
Hmm. Yeah. Was there anything else with that question? Did I miss something?
No, that was it. And then asking about can we eventually get a parent Facebook page to share info? Sarah Vista currently does that.
Yes. Yes, of course we can.
Yeah, I think Mr. Guzman is working on that with us too.
Yeah.
But we hope to have a Facebook, a Twitter, and as many, we want to make sure we reach all
Instagram.
families. Yeah.
Hmm. Yes.
And will all teachers and aides be vaccinated?
There is a push right now in our district for the vaccinations, but it is a choice. So it's not mandated, but I think we have, I don't know what the percentage is actually. I have no idea, but um, I can't say that everyone will be vaccinated. So I have no way to share that knowledge with you. I'm sorry. I don't know. That might be talked about at the board meeting though on March 15th. Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Um, what is the plan to keep the little kids safe from the second floor?
I think it's just about that culture again, really being explicit with the expectations for all of the areas. You know, the students are going to be coming back after a long pause of not being on any campus. And so we will have to revisit what they know about some areas, how we play, how we behave, what it looks like, what it sounds like, and then just really practicing. um, I don't foresee any issues with being, two-story. I think the kids right now that we've gone into do read alouds to at Gavilan Hills, they're really quite excited that their school looks like this and it has two stories. But we're just going to teach the behavior, the expected behavior, how we walk, and when we're on the second floor as well. Hmm. Good question.
Many of our lower grades are located on the first floor, but we
Mhm.
do want them to know how to go upstairs appropriately and safely. So
Mhm.
what we can.
Right. And we have planned like the rooms, the location of the rooms. So all of the TK, kinder, SDC, even our RSP, first and second are all on the first floor. So the remainder of the grades are all upstairs.
Mhm. And then we know that we're starting at 8:55, but do we have a set end time yet?
I haven't done the schedule, the minutes and such, but I'm thinking our dismissal will be 3:30, 3:40, somewhere around there. But don't quote me. I don't know. I have to do the minutes. That hasn't been my priority. It's yet. So, but we will share everything once we have that information. We will share that with all of you. Mhm.
Yeah. And we had a good question about if a high school student could catch the bus at this location. We don't know that yet, but when we get more information on buses and times, we can answer questions like that.
Yes.
Um, and then we have a question about the playground area. And I think what they mean is what time would the playground area open? If school opens at 8:55, what time would the playground area?
Well, we're hoping to serve our students breakfast, and so that's usually about 30 minutes before the bell rings. So about that time, about 8:25 or so. Hmm.
Yeah. And this is just a question of my own. I was thinking about after school care. Will we have anything before, or that would be the 20 minutes or 30 minutes before?
No, I think it's even before that time.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Um, okay. Elective opportunities. What are the elective opportunities for our middle school students?
Well, I think I think that those are the conversations that we want to start having with the students themselves, like what if they can choose, or if they can dream what they would like to have. I think I want to include them in those conversations, and so let's see what we get. Like we heard from the parents, leadership, student focused is up there. A lot of you through parents responses for what are your hopes and dreams for your child. And many of them are just, like have a love for learning, to be self sufficient and self motivated, to be an independent thinker, act as a leader, to be like, yes, like how awesome is that? And so, um, what are some of the electives, the classes that we can give them that will offer these opportunities for them to do that service, right? Of being a good human, of serving others, of being self-motivated. So I know what I mean, I can come up with a list, but it's really needs to come from
Yeah.
them.
And we did have a question about uniforms. We will not have uniforms, but we do expect our scholars to dress professionally. You know, we are TK through eighth grade, so we have our older students are the models to the younger students. So we hire our scholars. And then we had a great question here, Ms. Dazan. I'm going to say from Mr. Costa. Um, he wanted to know, what is your professional background? Former principal at another school, teacher positions. So I
Mhm.
would love to have you share, Ms. Dazan, because you have a lot of experience and even your experience with the board.
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Costa.
Hmm.
I have been in education for about 18 years. I lose track. I don't know. It always changes when I say that. I have taught everything from preschool, actually infant program, a Montessori infant program, all the way to adult learners. I facilitated an online course for teachers who were getting a credential for Stanford. And um, I have been an administrator, a teacher from kinder to middle school. I've taught PE. I've, I've taught English language development. I've taught high school ELD, just a whole what jack of all trades, master of none. Um, and I did my admin work in San Juan, where I reside. I am a board member for the Aroma San Juan School District, and I have been with Hollister. I think this is my fifth year. I think this is my fifth year. Hmm. Yeah, great question. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, and I just feel so honored that I get the opportunity to work with Miss Dazan, and I have so much to learn from her. So I'm really excited for our team.
Yeah. I thought that I was a warm and fuzzy person until I met Miss Mailer.
But we're both warm and fuzzy. And tough love when we need to be too.
That's
Well, it looks like that's pretty much wrapped it up. We don't have any further questions. I wanted to say thank you to our Hollister School District um, social media team, Mr. Manny Guzman, and thank you to our interpreter, Miss Lorena.
hmm. Yes. So thank you so much for being a part of history. We look forward to meeting you in person. Call us if you have questions. If you want to volunteer for things, I mean, as far as the parent groups, we would love to have you join. And we will be sending more surveys out. I will try not to bombard you, but Rancho Santana School consumes me. And so it's the first thing I wake up thinking about, and it's the last thing that I think about when I go to sleep. So I look forward to the collaboration and just developing our mission that we can walk the talk. So thank you again for being here, and we will chat soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.